Hello, gorgeous beings. I am just making sure that everything is live and is perfect. If you're here, please say hello. I would love to just say hello back to you as well. So please make sure you're right here with me. Something juicy is coming up. I've got a beautiful channel transmission that I really want to share today, and more than anything else, I hope that you'll be able to join me. Hello, beautiful Amy. Hi, my love. And also, if you're tuning in on Instagram, just know that the replay will be inside my free Facebook group, Vortex of Stillness. And if you're watching from Vortex of Stillness, welcome, beautiful, beautiful soul. Thank you so much for being in this community. Thank you for your energy, your presence. I love you. Thank you, all of you beautiful ones, for being here. All right, my love. So let's take a deep breath with me. Let's take a moment here. Just sinking in deep into the sacred divine mother in our belly, the motherly wisdom, the motherly anchor. And exhaling whenever you're unable to hold your breath any longer. Just let that exhale be graceful, long. I'm just recalibrating, a lot of energy moving through. So I'm just moving my body. If you feel that call as well, if you felt that too, you can join me in just rotating your neck, maybe your shoulder blades, maybe the back of your heart, maybe your hips, your spine. Just allow yourself to move with the energy, move with the energy. And it's interesting because I really wanted to come on here today to bring back some context in terms of what we're doing here, in terms of what we're here to do as multidimensional leaders, and also, especially for all of you who are in the Vortex of Stillness group, what exactly it means to be in a vortex. What exactly does it mean to be in a vortex of stillness? Because it isn't lost on me that a vortex isn't something that is static. A vortex is always, there's energy within, there's movement within, there's a flow within, there's dynamism moving always. Something about that structure is almost structureless, but make no mistake, there is a fluidity in it. And I love, love, love the name when it first came to me, Vortex of Stillness. It is the complete embodiment of my work in so many ways, because the stillness that is necessary, the stillness that is required for us to really journey back within, it isn't something that is just for us to stay in there and not ever having to engage with the world, and that we're just ignoring what's going on in our world. It isn't that at all. It is about coming back within, understanding the truth of who we are, and finally really allowing ourselves to show up as our truth, as the powerful being that we are here to be, and not having to waver or be affected by what is going on around us. What is perceived as chaos around us is a pattern that if we can stand still in as the vortex of stillness, we will not mistake the chaos around us as something that is going to hinder us, We will not see it as an obstacle. We will not see it as a challenge. We won't see it that way because we know that the chaos is part of the process of a huge birth that is coming through right now for this dimension, for Earth, for humanity. Our consciousness is being asked right now to elevate. And through the elevation, we can call it elevation, we can call it rebirth, we can call it awakening, whatever the word lands for you, you've got to know as a leader, whether you're leading yourself or you're leading your people or you're leading the relationships in your life, you are here to lead. There is no mistake about the time that you are born into right now. And as souls, we are timeless. Yes. And perhaps you may even know that you've done this lifetimes, many, many lifetimes. And coming back right now, choosing to come back right now, it is above all the most important thing that we got to do is to come back within. To come back within us. Remember our vortex of stillness. Master the vortex of stillness so that you embody the vortex of stillness in everything you do, every word you say. And you're standing tall and vibrant with a magnetism that is unshakable and undeniable. And you're that light that will call in people who will hear you. All of us are here to do this right now. And we must not be fooled. We must not give in to the illusion of chaos that we're in right now. And let me be really, really, really straightforward with you. What we're being called to right now isn't to fight. We're done with fighting. We are called to remember that we are love. We are love. We don't love, we don't do love, we don't give love. We are that love. And so when we're walking, when we're talking, when we're giving, when we're receiving, when we're responding, when we're perceiving, we are love as we do that. We are love. I have so much energy moving through right now because I have so much I want to say. And yet I want this to land most powerfully for you. And I think the only way I can allow that to happen is to just drop away every sense of the word, the ego. And I'm going to come to you soul to soul today to say what needs to be said. I can feel my solar plexus pulsating because there's so much energy coming through. First and foremost, if there's anything that you wish to share, if you agree, if you are in any way hearing me, please say so. The more you share, the more energy will flow. And when energy flows, a remembrance happens, healing happens. But even as I use the word healing, I want you to know what I really mean when I say healing. Healing in the sense of the word remembering our wholeness, remembering that we don't need to be fixed because we've never been broken. We don't need to have more because we're never lacking. But healing in the sense that we remember wholeness, remembering that we are complete in this moment now. And so I ran into this really interesting incident, I guess, in my inner world. Let's just put it that way. Well, I was having this conversation with my ego because my ego loves to say, you gotta tell people that they need certain things in order for them to come in and do the work. And I had a really big conversation with my ego, aka my logical linear mind. I said, there never is a need, because there never has been a need for healing when we are all whole and complete. And yet, where is that sense of purpose? Why are there so many people lost? Why are there so many people unable to make the quantum leap? Why are there so many people focused on what they lack instead of knowing and embodying the truth that they are whole and complete in this moment right now and that they are the creator of their life? Why? And I only could say what I heard, the transmission that I'm going to share with you right now is this. There never has been a need for healing. To know that you are here to remember requires your own feet on the path. You need to journey on this sacred path. Your feet, no one else's feet but your own. You've got to take that. And you're never meant to do this alone. And some people will choose to do it alone. And another set of people believe, because they can feel it in the field, the energy field, that they have never been alone. They can communicate just by looking at each other, just by feeling each other's energy, that they know they've done this together many, many lifetimes before. These are the people that you are looking to call towards you. These are the people who will hear your call. And these are the people that I'm speaking to. Anyone else who disagree, anyone else who don't hear the resonance can easily fall away, because you are standing in your own frequency. And I'm here right now standing in my frequency because there has been so many times, I'll be honest with you, I've wavered. I've wavered because I really knew, I felt everyone deserves to elevate their consciousness. Everyone will, and everyone is. But the ones who hear my resonance are a very specific type of people. And we are the priestesses, we are the mystics. We have done this together. We've built pyramids together. We have built crystalline caves together. There is something so potent about this frequency. Yes, Amy. Amy saying, I'm hearing you, I'm with you. There is something really potent about this frequency because, first and foremost, there is something about this place, this remembrance, where you need to choose. You've got to choose that this is it. This is for me, right? That's the first step. Like, there's something about this place, about the woods, about the vortex that really draws me in, and I'm stepping in. And then the second thing is, after that, or even in tandem with that, because when I speak, honestly, in my personal experience, I've never waited for one thing to happen and then the next. I've always moved with energy. And even in the moments where I hesitated, like I would look back and think, man, I should have just gone with my instinct. And these are the only moments where I ever say I should, to be very, very honest with you. Because I was so held back by my mind. I was so held back by fear that it wouldn't work. But to hell with that, because I can tell you, everything is happening in our favor because we chose it to be so. And here's the thing, a lot of people talk about, I want to manifest this, I want to manifest that, manifest, manifest, manifest. But what I want to invite you into today is to feel into the frequency of creativity. How does it feel to be creative? Rather than saying, I need to manifest that and this and that, I want to manifest all of those good stuff. Everyone wants to manifest all the good stuff. But why do some people get them and some people don't? So I want you to just feel into the frequency of creativity for a moment here and feel the difference. Feel the difference. Feel the power. And remember that you are the creator of your life. You are the creator of your reality. When I first received a transmission from Tea Spirit, I heard her speak very distinctly to me. She said to me, you have to go out and serve tea. No matter what, drop everything you know and go and serve tea. Let me tell you some things about me that you may not know. Firstly, I was terrified of public speaking. My hands would shake, my entire body would shake just in front of a small audience, let alone a huge, giant 100 to 200 people audience. Secondly, I come from a culture where the idea of success was to be an accountant, to be a doctor, to work in a great corporate company, drive big cars, all of that. And to say that I'm going to drop all the pursuit of my ambition and go and learn to apprentice with a Zen monk and learn to serve tea. I still remember when I first went home from Edinburgh back home to Malaysia and started to come up, share tea ceremonies. There was such a huge curiosity, but also so much backlash in the sense of, why would I pay her to serve me tea? And in my culture, serving tea is like, oh, going to a dim sum restaurant and someone serves you tea. And so to stay on this path and actually start a business in 2020 and then getting my business off the ground, becoming a 5-figure earner, and then saying goodbye to all of those things and coming to a place where I received another transmission this year, to say the least, a transmission. It was almost like a big giant, like, I don't even know what came down upon me, where I heard the words again. The divine desires to live through you. At that moment, I was like, holy bliss state. I was like, holy shit, what is this? And I went around and asked mentors, asked peers, everyone, going like, what is this? What is this? What am I supposed to do with this? And I was so resistant to something that I knew already. And that was the power of what I hold, that I've always held. Because I thought that it wasn't enough. I thought that I needed to be a certain way for people to see that my work is powerful, that I need to be a certain way. But now I can tell you this. Being spiritual isn't about wearing that white dress or that crown. Being a mentor isn't about how much you've earned. Every single day, your clients are rising with you. My clients are rising with me. And the reason why I'm still sitting here today and I haven't given up, I can tell you this, after so many crazy moments of like, can I even do this? Can I even do this? Is that I keep going back to Tea Spirit. I keep going back to that stillness. I keep coming back to that vortex. And I keep receiving the confirmation, the affirmation that this vortex of stillness is absolutely needed. It is so necessary for us all to integrate and to clear away all the things that are not needed, all the things that are pulling us down, that's weighing us down. And I want to go deeper into this today. And thank you so much, Amy, for being here. I hear you. I see you. I see your comments coming through. And anyone else that's here, please let me know. I see eyes, I see all of the numbers, but I don't know. If you don't say hi, I don't know who it is, but thank you. So I want to share something with you. One thing I really recognize right now, and I actually did an activation, and I shared this with my clients last week as well, is that you can absolutely manifest because you are a creator. That is like a no-brainer. You already know that, I'm sure. You can manifest, and you can manifest at different levels of frequency. You can manifest at your highest potential. You can also manifest at a lower level of frequency. And this lower level of frequency is oftentimes when we are in that really lacking state, where we are asking, oh my God, please just give me anything right now because I can't deal with this. It's like everything is destroyed and they did this to me. It's like a very, without sugarcoating my words, it is very victimhood mentality. It is a victimhood mentality, basically. So when you manifest at that level of frequency, oftentimes, and this was something I said to my client last week as well, it's oftentimes something that comes through, but it doesn't stay long. It doesn't stay for long. And there are various reasons for that. Some of them is because you are saying, oh my God, this is so good, but do I deserve it? I'm not worth it. Oh my God. And you break the bridge of the frequency. I love you too, Amy. Or it goes away because it is meant to happen so that you can again learn the lesson again. You're given another chance to learn. And I always say this, the universe, Tao, it is a very compassionate teacher. It comes back over and over again until you get it. It will never give up on you. So if you're in a relationship that is something like you had walked away from, you will get the same or similar experience. If you have given away your power to something else outside of you to build your business, something will crash the business because you didn't actually own your power, etc., etc., etc. So that is why I want you to understand, because I get so many people telling me this, is that I don't understand. I've invested, I've given my all, I've done all the things, and I even followed the strategy, but then I'm not getting the results. It's crickets, it's this, it's that. It's like, why aren't the things coming in? I've done everything. Well, my question to you is, how did you do it? Because it's never about what you do, it's about how you do it. Were you standing in your power? Because I can tell you this, the frequency, the energy that we're in right now, especially as leaders, especially if you have declared that I'm gonna be my authentic self, I'm gonna be a leader, I'm going to elevate my consciousness, I'm devoted to this path. If you've declared this, in your energy body, something incredible is happening the minute you declare this. Your body is going to calibrate to that level. And in the calibration, a lot of things are going to shed away. It is important for you to understand the shedding. Again, going back to what I said in the beginning, the shedding, which looks like chaos, is part of the rebirth process. You, of all people, only you and you alone must stand in your vortex of stillness to understand that these are not here as obstacles or challenge. They are here because they are falling away. And you have to stay in your knowing. You are working, continue to get into that space of purity, to get into the space where your channel is so crystalline, so refined. Exactly, exactly. Nothing can be fixed unless it is first broken, and it's not even broken in the first place. And yet, we've been looking outside of us for something to validate us, something to fix us, and that is never going to cut it. Here's the thing I've learned working with people over the past few years: women who have really risen strong, women who have really come through. I have a client who's been with me, I don't know, almost a year now and over. The reason why I want to bring her up is because when she came to me, she came to me saying she's very much in her overthinking state. And she really wants to get out of the overthinking state. And she really wants to know what her truth is, what's her purpose, what she's here to do, and she stands for self love. And when we started working together, when her channel started to clear, when she started to receive, to hear, actually, she's always been receiving divine transmissions and codes and messages. But when she started to really hear them clearly, because we've done the clearing, we started to allow the flow through her energy circuits. Like, these are things we do together. We work together on the foundational principles of regulating the nervous system as well, because you're not going to hear me about quantum leaps. You're not going to hear me about trusting or unwavering faith. You're not going to hear me if your nervous system is not regulated. So it all comes back to the body. And so when we started to work together, we started to integrate the mind, we started to open the mind, still the mind, drop into the heart, and we started to work on her nervous system and also the energy circuits that connect the mind and the body and the spirit. All of that working together. She started to hear very clear messages, and she started to perceive things in a way that almost feels mystical. And at first, it felt scary because it was like, oh my God, like, what does this even mean? What does this even mean? And the mind does get that way. The mind that tends to run into that story of like, oh my God, what does this mean? Does that mean, it's like the common thing you see in the wellness world. It's like 1111, double 11, triple 11. What does that mean? Oh my God, everyone has a different meaning of what that means. But what does it mean to you? Is the question I always ask. What does it mean to you? I want you to be able to interpret, to be able to translate, to be able to be the channel of your vision. You are here to channel your vision out into the world. Just imagine the vision coming through into your body. You're the conduit. You're the vessel. I call it a crystalline prism. You're coming in. You're the crystalline prism. You can be a crystalline prism, or you can be a prism that's all foggy and dirty, and what comes out of you is also diluted and wonky. It's the same way of speaking. And so your work is really to clear, to make this such a pristine channel so that you stand in your power and you create that vision. You create that vision. And I have been such a I don't want to call it fanatic, but I almost like I have this really insatiable thirst for understanding the lineage, the art, the mystical arts in particular. And oftentimes, if you read those texts, those ancient texts, let me tell you, they're really very metaphorical. They're not meant to be read and understood directly, like word for word in a linear way. And so when we receive transmission, sometimes it's really like, okay, is it coming from the crystalline place that we're talking about? Like, it's pure, is completely unfiltered? Or have you started to filter it with your mind? When you start to filter it with your mind, what comes out, the result, as we were talking about, is going to be diluted. It's as simple as that. And so it is important for us to understand who we are, how to work with our energy field, and then own our power as the channel, own our power as the crystalline prism. It is so vital. Everything about my work is about that. This is why I created the Quiet Revolution. Getting still and working with non-verbal transmissions so that you know how you can create from that. I talked a lot about, getting transmissions that are words. Most of my transmissions come that way, but for not a lot of other people, it can be pictures, it can be sounds, it can be vibration, it can be a feeling in the body. So it's a very, very potent place to play and work with your medicine so that you get to be the one and only who gets to shine that light. We don't need another clone of another person. What we need is you. What we need is you. So what are you here to share? What are you standing for? And can we stand for that with love, as love? Not fighting, not taking sides, but really standing as love. Because love does not take sides. Love does not take sides. There is this beautiful mystic story that I want to share. Basically, one mystic had a dream, and he spoke of the dream, and the dream goes like this. He dreamed that he was in the Wall Street and he was in an office, and he started to see like this huge feast laid out in front of him. All of the food, luxurious, pristine red wine, like everything was just so glorious. But through his mystic eye, he could see beyond the glory, the beauty. He could see that beneath it all, it was a very dark energy, something that's not pristine. And then the dream flashed to a woman standing there with her light, a glorious yellow light streaming out of her heart. And then that was the end of the dream. And I love this story, and I'll let you know why. I've always spoken to my clients. Hello, Becky. Welcome. Becky's one of my clients. Oh my goodness. I always tell my clients this. I've never really felt the truth in protecting myself as an energy healer or a person who works with energy, I guess. I don't know. I don't really resonate with the word healer. And I'm gonna let you know why. And I found almost like a confirmation when I heard about this story. Because we are love. We have that transmuting energy. Our presence as we go into the room, when we shine our yellow light, this glorious yellow golden light, we don't need to protect ourselves. Not in the sense of like a, shielding ourselves kind of way. We already are transmuting the darkness with our light. And the work is in mastering this, in honing this, in refining this. My dedication to my work is something I share, not because I want to boast about it, but honestly speaking, if you want to be a really powerful leader, if you are here and you know you've got a lot to share and you don't know how, you have to choose and decide that you do know how. And you're gonna look for the mentors, you're gonna learn from the people, get into spaces that activate you. Pull up a chair at the places that walk with giants. I walked with giants from the very onstart of my business, right? This quote unquote business that I'm running. And I kind of came in not in the sense of, I didn't lead in a way that felt like, oh, I'm walking with you power to power for a long time. I came in, I remember the first time when I first started walking with people that were truly doing such incredible things, and I felt like I was so small next to them, right? I was not in a place of empowerment. I was in a place where I hoped that I would get validation from them. When they validate me, that means I've done it, that I've made it. I mean, how many of you have felt that before? Let me know. I'm not alone in this, right? I definitely had moments where we're like, well, I'm not good enough until they say I am good enough. And it goes back to that really powerful place of receiving the transmissions and not trusting myself until someone said that I am that. Yeah, yeah, you're ready, right? But we are now coming to an era where we are really the ones who have to say, it's go time. I am committed. I am devoted to this path. So what if I'm not good enough today? I am continuing to learn and I am mastering it every day. I'm evolving every day. I am evolving, right? The journey of evolution. Yes, Amy, so true. Learning from giants can make you feel like a small baby. Absolutely. And here's the thing I'm telling you that really, and I think Amy and I, we've been in the same mentorship spaces, so we know this. We've been with a lot of big giants. And Becky, yes, right? But I think for Becky as my client, she would be able to agree with this is that, at some point she had to really decide that she is ready. Like I could have sat there every day, every week and tell her, you've got to be ready. You've got to be ready. And I had mentors say that to me, you're ready, you're ready, you're ready. But it wasn't until I decided that I am ready that actually I went out and do the thing. And here's the thing I want to really, really emphasize. A lot of us who work with energy, a lot of us who can perceive these things, whether you call yourself a light worker, energy healer, energy worker, or mystic, shaman, priestess, whatever that you call yourself, you work in the liminal space. You can transcend the 3D to the 4D to the 5D. You're in the 3D now. Can I just say this? You are in the 3D now. You chose to be in the 3D because you know you're here to bring the light. You're here to elevate the consciousness of this humanity to the next dimension. So if you are kumbayaing all the way out there, you're not coming in here, you're not engaging with this dimension, what is the point? What is the point? I'm telling you this because whatever that you're doing right now and you're saying, oh, I just can't seem to manifest or create whatever I want to create and I don't know what else to do. If you're in that state, you're not in your body. You're just not. Amy saying, I have a tough time with labeling myself. I just am Amy. Get to know me or don't. It's perfect. That's it. That is the frequency. We spend so much time as a mystic, right? If you're not in your power, if you're not fully in your power, we spend so much time trying to convince others what we do, how powerful we are, what we're here for. We're not steady. We're not holding a steady light when we're doing that. It's not about, and please get this right, and I want to emphasize this. It's not about like saying I am here and you're there, and you're so much lower than I am, and you won't get me. I'm not saying that at all. And in fact, I actually maybe yesterday or the day before, I put out a transmission that said this: as light leaders, we have to stop expecting people not getting us. We have to stop expecting that. We've got to come as love. And as love, if you imagine, if you're Guan Yin, Mary Magdalene, you don't come as saying, oh, you peasants, you don't understand me. You don't do that, right? And you know that. You come as love, where you know they can feel your power. You come as love, where you know and you fully expect that they can understand you. Maybe not now, but they will. You know, there's so many times, every time I used to be really called to do private sessions and private mentorship spaces. So a lot of my work with clients were always one-to-one. And I always said this to them, you know, you and I'm gonna say things that you may not get right now, but you will get it. And I will keep saying that whenever it's relevant. And one day you're gonna say, I totally get what you're saying. You may find that in your shower, maybe when you're brushing your teeth, whatever it is, but I encourage you to just be. Be in this vortex. Something about the vortex of stillness, working with the medicine of tea spirit, just allows us to get out of the way. Exactly, Becky. I just saw your comment, getting out of my own way. That is it. So it's really, really important. My jaw just cracked. Like, so much energy is moving through me today. I did not script this, and I literally had things, I noted things down, but I just don't even have it pulled up. It's just coming through right now. There's so much right now that is being asked, because if you're feeling like there is this work you need to do, go do it. Say yes to the things that scare you. Say yes to the things that you fear won't work. Oh, I've done that so many times before, it didn't work. Why would this one work? Like, fuck that. Get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. You gotta commit to yourself. Get into the activations, get into the mastery, get into refining and honing your work, whether it's my space, my mentorship, or other people. Seriously. It's time we get out of here. Like, you know how many leaders, quote unquote leaders, get so stuck here that they're creating wars and chaos in their own heads. They're not even down here, they're not living, they're not in their body. They're not feeling, they're pushing things away, they're ignoring signs and signals, things are coming and hitting them in the gut, and soul calling. Like, they're ignoring all of that because they're all up here. As women, we've got to stop that. We have to stop that. We have to stop putting ourselves last. We've got to come back in, remember who we are, and really walk the talk. You know, like I said a couple minutes ago on this live session, I'm like, you know, being spiritual and being a spiritual mentor is so much more than putting on the dress and the crown. So many women have beautiful photos and all the incredible things and words, and then they're not doing what they're saying that they're doing behind the scenes. Like, we gotta stop that. We really have to be leading ourselves first and foremost. Mean what we say. Really mean what we say. And if you're not ready yet, it's fine. Don't push it. We're done with pushing. We're done with hustling. We don't have to put on a pantsuit and pretend that we're one of the boys. It's not there. We're done with that. We're done with that. Why are we doing the same things, like put on a dress and be a priestess and be amongst the priestess, when we're not ready? Go learn. Master your craft. And honestly, it's not even about your craft or your medicine. It's about just getting out of your own fucking way. It really is. Get the ego out, because that's where your light is. Your ego is blocking the light that's coming in. It's really as simple and yet complex at the same time. And it's complex because the mind makes it so. The mind thinks it's so difficult, so complicated. I don't have the resources. I don't have that. I don't have this. I don't have the looks. I don't have the money. I don't have that, blah, 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 blah. Like I would tell my clients, it's like, stop fighting your mind. Love the mind. Love the overthinking mind. Love the logical mind. It's been fucked over for a lot of times. I get that, but it's time that you also take back your your seat as the driver, as the soul, and love the mind. Embrace the mind and let the mind know it's okay. That's regulating. Regulate the mind. And this is something we do really deep in the work that we do together in my mentorship spaces. There are those activations that really, really does such a profound, powerful work in just like one session. And of course, I've had that moment, I've got people asking me like, why can't you just do one session? Why can't you, like all of these things. But the reasoning behind my mentorship spaces that run for at least 3 months is very, very simple. I want devoted people to be in my space. I want people who really desire to stay here. They're not doing this just because they need to heal and get out. I want people who are leaders. I want women who actually are here to lead, not to close up their wounds and say, okay, bye. I want leaders who really are devoted to this path and really want to get deep, get the height and the depth. There's the sacred triangle, right? Of the manifest and the unmanifest, and you as the human. It's really, really important we get this right. We're in a very powerful time right now. And I honestly believe that we are all done with that infighting, self-sacrificing energy. We are being supported. We're being supported humongously by a powerful force that is abundance and freedom. It's here right now. It really is. Oh, Amy's like, bam! And what do your containers involve? Okay, I wanted to speak about that today as well. So thank you for that question. So I want to introduce to you the Quiet Revolution. It is really a 3-month container where you get to go deep, get down to the core of your truth. You'll get in a month 2 ceremonies with me, and you'll get to be in the Telegram group where you get to chat and be with the community. And I'll be in there a couple of times a week, and I'll also send in transmissions there as well. And today itself is quite special because I had a call, like a calling, I guess, a little call from the universe that kind of said, it's like, that kind of said, well, let's put in a little VIP upgrade. And so with the VIP upgrade, you also get 2 one-to-one luxury retreats with me. And there are payment plans and all of that. I can absolutely share the link with you. Just DM me and make the decision. Get out of your own way, get into the space, and let's activate that. And that space itself is quite phenomenal because it was born at a time when I first heard the divine speak to me, in the Isle of Skye, to be exact. And it was the message of the divine desires to live through you. And what was born out of it was the Quiet Revolution. And now I know why. Few months in, and now I know why. And that container has received so much interesting movements. Like it's never really changed in terms of structure, but the consciousness of that container has elevated. At first when it came out, it was really for people who I felt was like, into really one understanding how to work with stillness, how to work with the mystical element, what is mysticism, how to work with the mystery and not fear the darkness, but to really come into their sacred truth. Now it's really like this potent firecracker space of quietness, but a quietness where the quietness that precedes the the moment where you say, let's fucking go. I'm sharing my light now. It's the quietness that you are so quietly behind the scenes creating your light. And all of us need that to integrate, to embody, to walk through with all the support that you need. And then just get moving when you're ready and you're being supported on that way as well. And of course, there will be ceremony, there will be activations. It's all about living that fulfilling and magical life as you lead. Because no leaders are meant to stand alone. We gotta drop that. We gotta drop that illusion as well. All of the things that are illusion have to be dropped. And I'm here to guide you. I'm here to mentor you. I'm here to support you on this journey. It's my humble honor. It really is. And for all the clients who stay in my world, for beyond, and through all the iterations, you chose to stay in my world because you want to be in the field with me. You want to be there with me as we transcend, as we elevate. And I'm so grateful for you. So much coming through today, and thank you. Oh my god, I think that's it. I don't want to hold you so for a longer period of time. I think I'm complete, and I want you to know you're complete today as well as you are. If you ever desire to join me, I want you to come in ready, raring to go, and you're just gonna ride from one greatness to the next greatness. You don't need to be saved. I'm not here to save you or fix you because you're not broken, like Amy said. You're not broken in the first place. Okay? And you know that. It's time to own that shit. So much energy, guys. I'm gonna go out and ground right now. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, if you want to check into the replay again, join Vortex of Stillness. If you're in Vortex of Stillness, thank you. I love you. If you need the link to the Quiet Revolution, DM me or check the link in my bio. Love you. Mwah, so much. Make the move today. Bye, my loves.